We're not talking about coexistence anymore. We're talking about driving you out. This is what this war is about. You've had your time in Algeria, get out, go back to France. So what I say to those who want to delay the inevitable at this point is you can have a South African solution, I think, today, and 99% of Palestinians will accept it. Or you can continue the oppression, you can continue the brutality, and you can risk degenerating into an Algerian solution where you're simply not welcome anymore. And you're going to have to pick up and find a new place to live because you're not going to be wanted there any longer. That's the reality facing Israeli Jews today. So it's really up to them to decide which of these two options they want to pick. I know which one I counsel them to pick. But the reality of Zionism in the State of Israel, the reality that prevailed in 1947 on the eve of the partition of Palestine, is the exact same demographics that pertain today. In 1947, there were 2 Palestinians for every Jewish inhabitant of Palestine. Today, when you take the Israeli Jewish population into account and the global Palestinian population into account, it's still the exact same ratio of there being 2 Palestinians for every 1 Israeli Jew. So I say to my Israeli Jewish friends, how long do you think this situation can last? I don't think much longer. I agree with your analysis 100% if we're talking about everything that happened after the first 6 months of Obama's presidency. Initially, it was quite different. Initially, he appointed George Mitchell as his special envoy for Israeli-Palestinian peace. And George Mitchell is very different than Dennis Ross. George Mitchell, in fact, is of Arab American descent. He's half Lebanese and half Irish American, which coincidentally is just like my wife. And George Mitchell was tasked by Bill Clinton to negotiate a resolution to the conflict in Northern Ireland, a conflict which had persisted for 600 years. And so when he was appointed to be special envoy for Israel-Palestine, Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of State at the time, joked about the fact, well, you've resolved half of your family's issues and now you're going to resolve the other half. And indeed, he was more fair-minded than most of the people who have had that position before. But unfortunately, as I document in my book, even before he was eclipsed by Dennis Ross and others, he was still falling into this same pattern of taking the Israeli-inspired proposals and trying to shove them down the throat of the Palestinians. I really hate to end things on that down note, but I've been talking long enough. If you're interested in one of these posters or a sticker, we have them out here. It's a $1 suggested contribution. If you did get a chance to sign the petition, it's up here. And please come see me if you'd like a copy of the book. I can do cash, check, or charge, whatever you prefer. One last question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to know, what can we do now other than signing the petition, talking about it? What can we do now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, Edward Said talking about Palestine everywhere. You know, so talk to your peers, talk to your students, your colleagues, talk to people who are part of institutions that you belong to, whether it's a union or a religious institution. There are many things that we can do to organize, to campaign, to push BDS resolutions. This really helps jumpstart the conversation and foregrounds the issue of Palestinian freedom, justice, and equality like no other tactic can. We need to be very visible in terms of being out in the street, protesting, making our voices heard in the media, and of course talking to our elected officials as well. Because even though there is more and more political space opening up on Capitol Hill, certainly, at least among liberals, they still need to be reminded continually that they have constituents who want to see the policy changed, who want to see the U.S. supporting Palestinian freedom and not Israeli apartheid. And they don't have that enough right now. Believe me, when we go in and we talk to offices, it's actually starting to change. Some offices, they're starting to tell us we're hearing more from you than from the pro-Israel side, which is very gratifying. But believe me, in New Jersey, we are not there yet. We are definitely not there yet with Bob Menendez, and certainly not with Cory Booker either. So we have got to continually press our politicians to adopt a better position. If you left me with your email, you're going to get a weekly action item to do, to take. Please spread the word to your friends and be visible and be vocal and agitate. 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 Thank you all.